In this video, we're going to look at an abandoned cart sequence workflow and how to create that workflow. So imagine you have a funnel with a two-step checkout. On step one, the customer has the option to opt in. It's not an option. They have to opt in by putting their name, email address, and their contact info into step one. And then on step two, they make a purchase. So what you can do, that's two different actions, technically two different triggers. So technically what we can do on step two of this order process is we can set up what's called a conditional split path. That process is going to be your abandoned cart sequence. So let's look at how that's set up. Now, I've already set this up. So I've already gone through and showed you guys how to set up a workflow. So I'm not going to do that again. What I'm going to do, I've already created this inside of one of my other funnels, inside of our other CF Pro Tools account. Remember, the easiest way to know whether you have a workflow or integration set up on a particular step is because it's already, that tab on the right side is populated with like an email marketing message little icon there, right? Where if it does not, it still has a lightning bolt like that. So we're going to come in here, we're going to look at this, and I can see that I have an active workflow for this particular step. So let's go and just look at the funnel real quick so you can see what I've got set up. So you have the legacy checkout and you've got a regular checkout. A lot of the CF Pro Tools or third-party add-ons that you can use are going to work better with the legacy checkout. So if you're using those third-party tools, you may want to try to make all this work with the legacy checkout. For what we're doing here, I'm going to use a regular checkout here. And it looks like we're defaulting to a two-step checkout, which is great, but you can set it as 1 or 2 or even 3. So we're going to use two-step. And what's happening here is that they're going to go through step 1 and they're going to put in their email, their phone number, first and last name. Guess what? That's information that's being captured on step 1 into the contact database. So they go into the database and you can now trigger a workflow based off of that information. Now, what we're going to do is something slightly different with this. We're actually going to set up a product. There's a product that's already attached, ready to go on this particular page. Instead of setting this up step by step, I'm going to walk through each of the steps that are already set up here. So the trigger for this particular workflow is actually just an opt-in type event. There's nothing too special about it. Just set up an opt-in. So that means that when the person opts in on step 1, that means that this is triggered. This workflow will now run as long as you have it set to active. Okay. So if you want to add more to it and get a little more complex, that's fine. For the purposes of this video, we're not going to do that. So what you're going to do now, because it is an abandoned cart sequence, we want to give a little bit of time in there for the customer to not purchase anything. So ideally, they're going to go in, they're going to opt in, and then maybe within a few minutes, they're going to purchase something. So chances are they're not always going to buy within a couple minutes. So what we want to do is actually give them like maybe an hour. So we'll put an hour worth in here, which is plenty of time. If they don't buy anything, ultimately, we want to send them some follow-up emails and get them to come back and make their purchase. So I'm going to say, I'm going to set a delay for 1 hour, and then we're going to save this. So that means the workflow has now been triggered because they opted in. All right, now all it's going to do is sit there and wait for an hour and make sure that they purchased. Okay, and we're going to do that by using this conditional split step here. Now, where you're going to find this conditional split step is in here. So you're going to hit that plus button, and you're going to see right down here, as part of the workflow is a conditional split path, and you're going to set that up. I'll delete this here in just a second, but it's going to give you the option to set up your conditions. But what it's saying is, yes, if yes, go here and do this action. If no, go here and do this action. So you're going to set up your conditions by clicking into it and then setting it up. You can give it a name if you want, but I just left it as conditional split step, and your filter is now going to be set here. So you're going to go through here and you're going to find what it is that you want. What we want to set this to is purchased product. So we're waiting an hour to see if they purchased a product, and if that product is the product that's on our page. We're just going to call it awesome product. If you want to continue setting up filters, that's great. You can make it complex if you want. I'm just going to leave it at this and keep things simple. Once you're done, hit that submit button and create your conditional split path. So now that I've done that, I'm actually just going to hit the X button and delete that and say remove. If you do need to remove a split path, you can come in here. I'm going to remove both paths. Hopefully it doesn't delete everything, or we'll be redoing all of this. And I'm going to say yes. That way it should bring me right back to what I had before, which is the original conditional split step. Okay, so if you ever need to do that, that option is there and available, and you can delete either the left side or the right side, the yes or the no. From here, you basically just set up, you can add more steps. So you have all of the steps that were originally available to you over here in the right sidebar, to set up here, add contacts, remove contacts, enroll or unenroll, all of this fun stuff. What we're going to do, if they bought, so let me get rid of this here. Basically, it's saying that conditional split test or split step is saying, did they purchase this one product within the last 1 hour, within the last 60 minutes? If yes, just end. You don't have to do anything else at all. Everything's good. I mean, they might go through another workflow for having purchased it, but for as far as this goes, because this is our abandoned cart sequence, we're just going to end this because there's no reason to send that abandoned cart sequence. Over here, if this is a no, then yes, we're going to send out another email, and we're going to set that up. So if you go through the process of sending an email, which is up here at the top, I believe, send an email, then you can go and go through that process and send out the email. Now, if you want to send out multiple emails, all you have to do is click that again, send an email, so you can send more than one email. So email 1, email 2, and then you could even send a third one. All right, so let's leave it at that for now, but let me go one step further with this. And what if you wanted to you could actually set up additional conditional split paths in between here. So what if you didn't want to send this one, you would want to send with a delay. You would actually want to put a delay in here. So it might be a 1 day delay in there. So that way an email goes out, and then email 1 goes out, and then 1 day delay, and then the second email goes out. But what if they purchased the product somewhere in there? You don't want to continue sending them emails if they already purchased. So the way around that is by setting another additional path. So you would still have your 1 day delay in there, but now you might add another conditional split path. So it can get a little bit complex. You can get as complex as you want with this, but now you're going to set up your conditions again, and that condition will remain the same. So it's going to be the conditional split step, the email address. You're going to set this to purchased product as the trigger there, and is the awesome product or whatever product it is that you're purchasing, or you want to see if they purchase, submit that. And now you have your left and right again. So if yes, then again, we're just going to end this. This is a good place to use the end path, okay? So if yes, drag your end in there, and that's the end of that. If no, now what we want to do is just add that email, right? Okay, I can just move that up here so that way it's not too far out of the realm. All right, and then once you've got that, it's giving you a couple additional pluses down here. You could do the same thing for as long as you want that abandoned cart sequence to go on. It could get a little bit complex there, but that's how you set up a sequence. So eventually, this will come down here and basically end. But that's how you set up an abandoned cart sequence. When you're done with it, of course, make sure you finished all your emails and you added in all your delays. Maybe there's another delay in here. Let's go down here, add another delay, click create, and then you can add an additional split step here and then do exactly the same thing that we just did. So it will make a very effective abandoned cart sequence. I recommend maybe at the max, just 3 emails after 3 days. Like, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? If you notice that they came back and they did a page view, you could re-trigger this event, okay? Which would be a really great trigger for another abandoned cart sequence so that you could get them again if they come back and do this again in the future. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you guys do great things with this abandoned cart sequence. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or hit up ClickFunnels support, and I'd love to see what you guys do with this. Please reach out and just let us know, or maybe even if you find a better way to do this. I think that this is a very functional, awesome way to set this up, and I think that you can get some great results with this method. So let us know how it goes for you. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care.